Most people don't realize this, but you can often tell very early if your YouTube short will go viral. When people think about viral shorts, they imagine a video randomly exploding. But if you look closely at the analytics, viral shorts almost always follow the same pattern. They grow in waves. And once you understand these waves, you can actually predict whether your short will die early, stall at a few thousand views, or keep growing into hundreds of thousands or even millions. Quick side note, if you want the exact system I use for growing shorts channels, including retention strategies and hook frameworks, download the free short starter PDF in the description. It breaks down the structure behind videos that actually scale. Let's talk about the 3 testing waves. Every short usually goes through 3 phases. You can literally see these phases in the graph inside YouTube Studio. The first phase is the initial test wave. This usually happens somewhere between about 500 and roughly 1,500 views. Even brand new channels often reach these numbers. That's because YouTube gives almost every short a small test audience, and this phase is actually very easy to pass. In most cases, your short only needs around a 50% swipe stay rate and roughly 50% average view duration. Since the sample size is still small, these numbers are relatively easy to reach. That's why many shorts quickly jump to around 500 or 1000 views. YouTube is simply testing the video. The second wave is where things get harder. This phase usually happens between about 1.5k and roughly 10k to 15k views. Here, YouTube starts testing your short on a much larger audience. And this is where most shorts die. In this phase, you usually need around a 60 to 70% swipe stay rate and similar numbers for average view duration. If your hook is strong and people keep watching, the short passes this test. But if those numbers drop, the video often stops growing around 10k or 15k views. The algorithm simply decides not to push it further. Now the third phase is where viral shorts begin. Once the short passes the second test, it enters what I call the viral loop. This usually starts somewhere above 15k views. At this point, the metrics are typically very strong. Viral shorts often have average view durations close to 90% or higher and swipe stay rates around 70 to 75% or more. When YouTube sees numbers like that, it becomes confident the video will perform well across many audiences, so it keeps expanding the reach. Instead of the graph flattening, the video keeps climbing. If you enjoy breakdowns like this and want to understand how shorts actually grow, consider subscribing. It's completely free, and on this channel I only share strategies based on real channels and real data. Now let me show you a real example. This short on my channel reached over 1 million views. If you look at the graph, you can clearly see the different waves. First, the initial spike where YouTube tests the video. Then the second growth phase as the audience expands. And finally the viral loop where the views keep increasing instead of stopping. And in this case, the short actually reached around 200,000 views within the first 24 hours. Part of that may be because the channel already has an audience, but the important thing is the pattern. You can clearly see the waves in the graph. Now compare that to another short that stopped around 19,000 views. This video had around a 67% swipe stay rate, which is pretty good, but the average view duration was only about 35 seconds on a 52-second video. That's roughly around 2/3 retention. Good, but not strong enough to pass the next testing phase. So the short passed the first 2 waves but failed the third, and that's why it stalled around that range. This is something many creators misunderstand. Shorts don't just randomly go viral, they pass multiple testing phases. Each phase requires stronger engagement, and once a video clears those thresholds, the algorithm keeps expanding the reach. If you understand the system, you stop guessing and start seeing exactly why some shorts explode while others stop early. And again, if you want the full framework behind retention, hooks and shorts growth, download the free starter PDF in the description.
Alright, so I'm currently at my dashboard on smmshiba.com, and do not get confused by the website names. SMM and SMM Dodge are actually the same website. So all you have to do once you've created yourself an account here is to go on list, click on this category icon, select, and here you want to select something, basically any option that says from with video. So I'm going to choose this one right here, and this should be already fine. 2014, 2017, yeah. Now I'm going to click on buy, confirm, and now you can go onto your product orders and you will see this is pending. All right, the order is now completed. This didn't even take 2 minutes. What you want to do now is you want to copy that ID, and we want to be organized, right? Especially if we have multiple channels, you will not find them again. So make sure to save it somewhere.